Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how I made this troll surprise egg cake. And yes, you heard it right, it's finally a voiceover tutorial, so I really hope you enjoy it and let's hop right into it. So for the structure, you will need to drill a hole in the middle of a 1 centimeter thick MDF board, and the tools you'll need to build this structure will be listed in the description box below as well. You can measure what the height of your dowel rod needs to be after you've baked your cake layers and have leveled off the top, so you can calculate how tall your egg is going to be and therefore how tall your dowel rod needs to be. And this image can be used as a guide for the placement of your cake boards and the diameters of the cake layers that I used. They will be listed in the description box below as well. To make the structure food safe, I placed some candy melts around the ring and the bolt, and then I added a straw on top of the dowel rod so there is no metal that comes in contact with the cake. And the bottom layer is made out of Rice Krispie treats. I will leave a recipe in the description box below, and I just made this in a hemisphere pan so it had that rounded shape already, and then I covered it with chocolate to make it more sturdy. To support the extra weight of the cake layers, I placed 4 dowels inside the cake and marked them with an edible pen before I cut them to the right height, and then on top of this you can place the cake board. So this next step is totally optional. As you can see, I've cut a hole in the middle of my cake layers so I can insert some toys and sprinkles into this, so when you cut into the cake it's really a giant surprise egg. So after you've stacked your last cake layer on top, you can use the excess buttercream that accumulated on the sides to give the cake a rough crumb coat, and then chill it in the fridge for about an hour before you carve it into the right egg shape. I used a small and a large serrated knife to carve the cake into the right shape, and first I started out by trimming away the rough edges of the individual cake layers. So whenever you're carving a cake into a certain shape, just remember not to cut off any large pieces at once, because if you made a mistake, it's harder to place the cake back onto it, especially when you have a rainbow cake like this, than it is to shave off little pieces one by one, and that way you'll achieve a much nicer effect. So after I was happy with the shape of the cake, I gave it a crumb coat with some buttercream, and I scraped off the excess with a smoother. And because it's a rounded cake, it's easier to use a flexible smoother for this because you'll get a much nicer effect. And I will leave some links in the description box below of the tools that I've used. And after you've crumb coated the cake, you'll need to place it in the fridge for about an hour before you give it a final smooth coat. Covering a round cake or a ball-shaped cake is one of the most difficult things to do because you can get ripples on the bottom, and I wanted to avoid this. So I decided to cover it into 2 parts. So I measured the height and the width of the cake, and I rolled out some fondant for the front and some fondant for the back, and I made a seam in the middle because a surprise egg also has a seam because it consists of 2 parts, so it only made sense. So after placing the sheet of fondant to the front of the cake, I roughly smoothed it down with my hands, and then I quickly trimmed off the excess fondant that is hanging at the back side. And then I used a ball of fondant to smooth the fondant that is on top of the cake. After this, I've placed a second sheet of fondant to the back of the cake and smoothed it down with my hands as well. And then I used a very sharp knife to cut through both fondant layers to create a nice seam that fit perfectly together. And And then I cut away the excess fondant at the bottom of the cake with a sharp knife to create a clean cut. And then I used a fondant smoother to tuck in the fondant really tightly at the bottom. So for this troll surprise egg, I wanted to create a gradient look from purple to pink. And the easiest way to achieve this is by using a watercolor effect. And to do this, you'll need to use a few different shades of purple and pink. I used 2 purple and 3 pink shades, and I diluted it with some food grade alcohol, and I also had a test piece of white fondant next to me so I can see if I made the right shade before I've applied it to the actual cake. And don't worry, the alcohol will evaporate so it won't end up in the finished product, and it's safe for kids to eat. And now we're moving on to my favorite part, and that is making poppy out of fondant. I printed out an image that I found on Google, and I printed it to the right scale so that it would match the height and the width of the cake. I will leave the image that I used in the description box below. I applied a bit of shortening to the back side of my printed image so it would stick to my fondant and it won't slide around while I'm trying to trace it. And I use a very sharp craft knife for this so I get a clean cut all around the sides. I also decided to hollow out her eyes so when it's time to add the eyes to the face, they will sit flush and not on top of it so it looks more natural. And then I use a needle tool to poke holes through my image and my fondant to act as a guideline where to make indents like her mouth and her ears and the toes. And after I've removed the printed image, I can trace it with a Dresden tool. And then it's time to make her dress. I just cut the shape out of the existing template and trace it onto the right colored fondant. To make the process of making a 2D decoration go faster, I rolled out the different colors of fondant that I needed to make Poppy in advance, and I placed them inside a map to prevent them from drying out. I'd also recommend not making this decoration too far ahead because, as you know, fondant dries and then you won't be able to place it around the egg-shaped cake as nicely as a soft piece of fondant. As you can see, making a 2D decoration is basically deconstructing the existing image into different parts, and here I'm making the trim of her dress in light blue fondant and I'm attaching all the details with a bit of water. To make the petals at the bottom of her dress, I use a teardrop shaped cutter to cut out the shapes, and after I did this I found them a bit too big, so I cut them a little bit smaller with a craft knife. I use a bit of water to attach these petals to the dress, and any bits of excess fondant that were sticking outside the dress I trimmed away with an X-Acto knife. And then I cut away the hair part from the template and adhered it with a bit of shortening to my pink fondant and traced around it with an X-Acto knife. After I've attached it to my fondant Poppy, I also made an eyebrow out of pink fondant and indented some hair-like strokes with a Dresden tool. I made Poppy's nose by rolling a ball in between my palm and my finger, and then placing my index finger and my middle finger on the left and right side of this ball and rolling it around my hands to create a bump in the middle and a thinner left and right side. And then I use a dressing tool to further accentuate the raised part of her nose and to create some nostrils. I use a black edible food marker to draw on some eyelashes to both of her eyes. I then made her headband out of turquoise fondant, and I use a template as a guideline where to place this headband so it's at the right height. I use a flower cutter to create the petals that go on top of her headband, and after I've cut it out of fondant, I separated each petal with an X-Acto knife. I use a different flower cutter to create the flowers that go on top of the petals. I had a flower cutter that had 5 petals and Poppy's flowers have 3 petals. So I used a teardrop shaped cutter to cut away 2 petals from either side of my 5-petal flowers. So on the left and the right side, I removed a petal to create a flower that had 3 petals. To prevent Poppy from misshaping, I cut away her head from her body before I attached it to the surprise egg, and I attached her onto the cake with a bit of water. Then I added 2 balls of white fondant into her eye sockets and flattened it a bit with a ball tool, and then I added her pupils out of pink and black fondant and flattened it a bit with a Dresden tool. With a little bit of pink luster dust, I created some rosy cheeks, and with some white food color and a tiny ball tool, I created 2 catch lights and her white freckles. And there she is, all finished. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye! Mwah.